Welcome back to Utah Stories. So something I was reminded of, I went skiing in Snowbird with my kids last weekend, and we go up the canyon and we get on a chairlift and we hear the grinding of the chairlift and we see the giant steel poles out of the massive concrete foundations for the poles. And I loved skiing as a kid. And then we come down the hill and these giant snow blowers are blasting us and we're hearing them cranking out and just, and I'm like, where's the nature here? Like, where's the natural beauty experience? Because it was beautiful. I mean, I can't say it wasn't. And we could find little pockets where you didn't actually hear the snow machines or the lifts. But those pockets are getting fewer and further between. And now they want to build a gondola, which is a whole nother story. But Kathie Chadbourne has joined me because she has a small business in downtown Salt Lake City, which is sort of a answer to getting us back in touch with the earth and the ground. Her shop is called From the Ground Up. Thanks, Kathie, again for joining me.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here with you, Rich.
So how did you come up with this idea? I thought it was kind of crazy, honestly, when you started it. I was like, a rock shop in the middle of downtown. How did you come up with that whole idea?
Do you know, it's been a dream that I've had for as long, before I ever even started businesses. When I came into Utah, when I drove into Utah with my family the very first day, I could not believe the beauty. I'd never been to Utah before. And so coming up through Zions and coming up all the way up I-15, it was just so magical. It had such an impact on me, the beauty. And then I started collecting rocks. Yeah. And I'd been collecting a little bit while I was in Florida, shells and things, always feeling very connected to nature, always wanting to be outside, sort of a tomboy. I can remember, even in Connecticut, where I was born, I can remember the outdoors still. And so this dream to have a rock shop, as I talked about it over several years to people, they were like, really? You do food? Why not just do food? Mm-hmm. Well, every restaurant that I've had or that I've helped to build was decorated with rocks and nature. And I was always trying to bring the outside inside to find my comfort zone.
Because that was your background. I mean, you had a bakery, the Avenues Bakery, and then you moved into a deli, then you moved into a really cool little small restaurant in the Avenues. So but you just always had this idea. You want to have a rock shop and you want to get people back connected with the earth through a shop like that.
Always looking for artifacts when I was outside that sort of took me back. And my grandfather was a coal miner out of Harlan County, Kentucky. And I loved that root of my life. And so all of a sudden it kind of connected me. Maybe it's DNA, I don't know, Rich, but the rocks have always been so close to me. And I thought this little space was going to be a little tiny cafe. But I woke up in the middle of the night, and I think I told you this story. It was like 3:30 in the morning. I woke up, and it's going to be a rock shop. I was so thrilled. I was so excited. And I knew that I had wanted to open up a rock shop, but I felt a little bit safer in the restaurant world. But I did it, and I opened up on Valentine's Day over a year and a half ago, and it's really been a great thing for me personally, because I do believe that everything does come from the ground up. You look outside my window, there was nothing there just over 100 years ago. Cars, concrete, glass, everything that you see, signage, everything comes from the ground.
Well, and it feels like, I mean, my experience as Snowbird, that we're forgetting about what is it that makes us connected with the natural world. Mm-hmm. I mean, going down a ski hill at 50 miles an hour, that's fun.
Yeah.
But you're flying past those trees and then going up the ski lift. I mean, this wire rope and the chair and the steel is what's holding you up. But then you get out into like the canyons in Mill Creek where there's nothing around. I mean, that's really where the connection comes from, and that's really where you can experience the beauty and the majesty of the environment. And it seems like you kind of get that when you experience nature firsthand.
You do, when you can get outside and walk slowly. Mm-hmm. Do you know that From the Ground Up now has 2 claims out in the West Desert, and that's about 45 acres that we have. When we first found that land, started mining in that land, we were picking up trash and nails in campfire pits, and I mean, there was lots of trash out there. And it was such a thrill to be able to say, wait a minute, we're going to clean that up. We're going to invite people to come out. We now have these campfire pits set up so that people can bring a 5-gallon bucket, a hammer, and a chisel, and come on out and play. And, see what's out there. It's beyond beautiful.
You're out by, so that's out by Delta, like in the West Desert, past.
On the way to Delta, yeah.
Okay.
Out past Santa Quin and Eureka, and then you head up 74, and it's in the Drum Mountain Range. It's so beautiful out there.
So do you go south before you go west then?
You head west off of I-15, and then you head northwest before you get to Delta.
I've never been there.
But we can see Topaz Mountain. We're neighbors with Topaz Mountain. It's just so beautiful. And to get outside, during the solar eclipse, we had 10 people come out and just hang out for the day. It was wonderful. And just enjoy that part of Utah that is so beautiful.
Well, I think I feel like the best of local shops get their products from local Utah and kind of embrace the spirit of Utah, because this state has so much diversity of geology. There's just so much geological
endless
terrain.
Yes.
And so you seem to do that, and you encourage people to go out where you can actually see the stars.
Yeah.
Do you intend on doing more of that?
We sure do. We sure do. We have a new branch, too, from the Ground Up, and it's called West Desert Digs. And I have a new business partner, Scott, who's in and out of the shop, but he's a miner. And what we're trying to do is take that old mining experience and bring it to now. I have a special fondness when my little Addie and little Shiloh, my grandchildren, come to the shop. Addie works like you wouldn't believe. Shiloh comes in the shop and rearranges everything, but they have their hands on the rocks and the gems, the crystals.
Oh, my kids love your shop. Every time we do a magazine delivery.
Yeah, it's just so much fun.
It's it's hard to tell people it's this small shop, but it's just like a museum. But
it is like a museum.
You really can learn about so many different kinds of rocks just by going through your shop and see this. Most of this came out of Utah.
Most of it came out of Utah. And it came from Scott's and my collections, and we brought those together in a couple of cases in the shop. So it's spectacular. There's all kinds of fossils and just beautiful rocks and ugly rocks, and people come in and are blown away.
Yeah.
And it just thrills me that this little tiny shop.
And it feels like I've been going to Moab for many, many years. It feels like if you could take Lynn Ottinger's rock shop and put it in downtown, it feels like the same kind of spirit.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
It's way cool.
Lynn's been
because it's not sort of like a New Age crystal shop. I don't want to give people that idea. It's more like let's learn about geology.
Yeah.
Let's experience like the incredible variety of all sorts of different kinds of rocks.
What you can do with them.
Yeah.
How you can make jewelry out of them. And we sell wholesale also. And so we have probably 100 50-gallon barrels that are full of beautiful rocks. And that little tiny shop is just a little showcase for that. But we do want people to come out. We want them to experience taking your family out into the wilderness and explore.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, that's cool. And what kind of Christmas presents can people find for their loved ones at your shop?
Do you know we're having record-breaking sales right now? It's really fun, and I appreciate local people coming out. And there's beautiful crystals in the shop. Some of the crystals we were able to dig right here in Utah. And just come and see. There's little books for children, and there's a bucket for children to come and pick out their stones for free, and I love it when the parents just bring their kids, and let them respect the land and look at that and want to come back.
Yeah.
It's so much
Yeah,
fun.
and I've been to your shop a few times, and the people that show up in your shop,
fun,
each
huh?
almost every, like, you just keep finding people who would be great stories. Like
Yes.
the young man who was visiting from Bluff who told me about what's going on down there. I'm sure that'll
the
become a
Navajos are coming in and out.
Mhm.
It's really wonderful.
Yeah.
People are enjoying the shop as much as I am, which is really good.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because it feels like exactly where you should be,
Thank you.
especially in the middle of all this turmoil.
I love Salt Lake City. I think Salt Lake City is beautiful.
Mhm.
And I think we've just got to uncover some of this and bring some of the real beauty back to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Remember when the gallery stroll? It
Yeah.
can come back.
Yeah.
It should come back.
Yeah, I think if our we said this in the first segment, but if our local leaders would actually embrace the idea that we need a spirit of local business in downtown, we need to support local independent businesses and
Absolutely, we
incubate
do.
them. It's just like it just depends on people supporting them.
Right.
I mean, if you be the change you want to see in this world, like if you love local business, you've got to come out and support them.
If you see something that needs to be done, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, great. Well, it's been awesome talking to you, Kathie.
It's a pleasure. I love
Yeah.
your magazine.
Yeah,
and I love the
we've
people running your magazine.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, I love what you're doing too.
Thank you so much.
All right. So if you want to learn more about Kathie's Rock Shop, again, it's called the From the Ground Up. You can visit them. You have a website, right?
We
Is
do.
it fromthegroundup.com?
Yep, and Instagram.
Yeah, check them out. They've got really good coffee. That's one thing.
We do. We have Rimini coffee.
Oh, yeah.
We
nice.
have Rimini coffee.
Yeah, that's great stuff. And then if you want to be a bigger part of Utah Stories, go out to utahstories.com, subscribe to our free digital newsletter, absolutely free. Get the voice of local Utah delivered right to your inbox. If you want to support our coverage, have the magazine delivered right to your door. It's just $3 a month, and we have different membership options from the $3 a month to $10 a month. We have exclusive content we are now offering to members. Our panel discussions about homelessness, how we can literally solve homelessness if we reorganize where the money is going. You could become a member of Utah Stories and help us solve that problem. All right, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend if you like it. And we will see you next time.